Hey, it's Mel. I hope you're doing well and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, it's lovely to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about the murder of Lila Anderson. Apologies in advance if I mispronounce anything. This case is also known as the Xmas Day Murder. This case occurred on Christmas Day 1959 in Vancouver. Case remains unsolved. There is not a whole lot of information on this case, therefore this video might be really short. With that being said, let's get into it. Lila Anderson was a 38-year-old quiet and strong woman. She had a good sense of humour and she was really friendly. But she made it clear that her private life was her own business and she expected her neighbours and friends to respect that. She came from a small town called Rock Creek. She joined the Royal Canadian Air Force as a sergeant cook. And after her discharge she worked as an assistant night manager at the White Lunch and later as a cashier at the Safeway store at Broadway and Main Street. She then moved to Vancouver and bought a house in 1950 at 30 East 15th. She lived alone, she was single and she liked her own company. She drew her own blueprints for a boarding house and she hired a construction crew and supervised the work. When it was finished, she moved into the bottom suite and rented out the upstairs. She was the kind of woman who was happy just staying at home all day, watching TV or listening to the radio. She loved her 8-year-old cat Mikey and spent most of her time gardening. Lila did have a sister who visited her often. She also had 2 adopted children, a boy and a girl. Her daughter was born around 1944 and her son Ross was born in 1947. Lila told her sister and neighbours that she had plans for Christmas dinner, but she didn't say who with. No one saw Lila after she left home on Christmas Day. An autopsy later revealed that Lila had eaten about an hour before she was murdered. A quick warning, this next part is very brutal and graphic. She had been abducted from a bus stop, dragged into a car and was then beaten with a tyre iron and her head was smashed against a rock. I know. What sick maniac does that? This woman, as far as I'm aware, she didn't have any enemies whatsoever. A black skirt was wrapped around her head, I'm presuming it was used to strangle her. Her naked body was then dumped in a ravine at Knight Street and 45th Avenue. The next day, 2 boys who were walking their dog found her body about a kilometre from the Paul's house, where a couple lived and their young daughter was killed 18 months earlier. Some people believe these 2 cases might be connected. A blood-stained cloth was also found near the bus stop where Lila was abducted from. Something that I find very hard to believe, during the investigation, not one person came forward with information. No one saw anything, no one heard anything. I'm sorry, but I don't buy that. You have cars going up and down the street, you have people walking around late at night, and this is a small town. Someone must have seen or heard something. Someone out there knows the truth and what has happened to this woman. All you need to do is come forward. Since then, this case has gone cold, but I do think it has the potential of being solved. I feel so bad for the families. This is the thing when I'm talking about this stuff. I try to be as respectful as possible. Out of all the days that a person could potentially get harmed or killed, whatever, you choose to do that on Christmas Eve. Like we haven't already fucked up enough and caused damage. Let's do it around the holiday season too. There seems to be a lot of crimes that happen around this time of the year. I'm not sure why. People are robbing banks and committing arsons. It's Christmas, okay? We're meant to be jolly. We're meant to be serving Santa cookies, having a fabulous time, eating way too much food and just enjoying Christmas. But no, we can't do that because evil people exist in this world and they're creating crimes like this. Like I said before, this case has not got a lot of information or coverage for that matter. I've not seen a lot of people talking about this case in particular. It's just sort of been forgotten about and pushed under the rug and I don't like that. So yeah, that's it. That is the end of today's video. Very upsetting, but then again, I feel like people need to be reminded of the certain cases like this that have been forgotten about. Feel free to leave a comment below and as always, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.